this question the problem code is Revmee and Ccstart tool. So in this question we have to reverse an array. So first we have to take the input. So it means that what is the length, what will be the length of our array. So n denotes the length of an array. So C in n. So we have to take elements of array also. So for we use for loop here. For int I is equals to 0 and I less than n, we have to take input of an array. So C in arr I, and we have to define our array also int arr n. Only this means that our array of n elements, array of size n is created. This means that arr n means that our array of n size is created, and we are taking, and this for loop denotes that we are taking the elements in this array. So every time this I will be increased, we have to take input in this arr. So yes, so we have to reverse this array. So for reversing of array we have to swap the elements. So let's first create function here, function reverse array. So if you don't know how to create function in C++, watch any video how to create function, like search how to create function in C++. So a normal 10-minute video will come and you can watch and learn from there. So I will show also how to make an array in C, how to make a function in C++. So this denotes the what type of input our array, what type of input our function will take, and this is the name of our function, reverse array. So function can be, name of function can be anything like reverse arr, reverse a, so anything will be, and this denotes the parameter. So what should we have to take in our function. So we have to take array in our function and its size. So in this function we have to reverse. So for so while 1 second. So if start of an element, let's assume start is equals to 0 and end is equals to size minus 1. I'll explain what is start and what is end. So start is our index, starting index. So in an array the starting index is 0 and last index is size of an array minus 1. So if our array is a size of n, so we have, let's assume we have taken the input 5 and we have put the elements, we have created the array of size 5 and we have taken a random number in this array. So 0 1 2 3 4, last index will be 4th index. So the last index, so if you don't confuse, so I'll make it first index name, and this is last index. Last index will be size minus 1, and we have to while use while loop here. So while means jab tak, and while our first index is less than equal to last index, we have to swap the elements. We have to swap our first index element in our first index. So for showing elements in our first index, this is arr become arr first index, and our element of last index will be swapped. So what is the role of this swapping? I'll explain. If so, um, let's copy this code and reload this page. So see clearly, guys. We have to swap the elements जब तक swap the elements जब तक first index will less than the last index. So in this case we have first swapped 1 and 4. 4 will be swapped here and 1 will be put it here. So this becomes 4 1, and then we increase our first index by 1. After swapping we increase our first index by 1, so and decrease our last index by 1. So this becomes last index minus 1, and this 3 becomes the first index plus 1, and then again we swap these elements. So again by swapping this, 2 comes here and 3 comes here. So this becomes, after swapping, 4 2 3 1. And when the start when our end elements our last index when our last index comes here and start index come here, when last index becomes greater than the first index, so there is no need of swapping, so we end the while loop here. So that's why we have taken while first index is less than equal to last index. So we have to iterate our array only for we have to swap our array for only when the first index is less than equal to last index. And then after swapping we have to increase our first index by 1 and end in the last index by 1. So after swapping we come to here, this position, and after swapping our end becomes this position. So our end index will changed, and our last index will become this, and our first index will become this. So our array is reversed, and then we have to print this array. So again we created a print array function. Uh, Parameters will be int arr this and int size this size. So we take any name here, any arr here. So if so we have to print array. So for int I is equals to 0, I less than equal to size, and I plus plus. So in this case we have to take our output. So we have to print cout of array every I. Whenever the I increases, we have to take the input of we have to output arri. So this should be void function because it is not returning anything. After this for loop, this is not returning anything. We don't need to return anything. So that's why we created void function here. Void function does not return anything. And this reverse array function is also not returning anything. So this should be void function. First index plus plus. So all you guys understand the logic here. First index will be increased by 1 and last index will be decreased by 1. So then what should we have to now call our function? So first call reverse array function. Reverse array function for our arr comma n. This is our argument for reverse function, and print array. Our arr becomes the argument and rn becomes the size. So this means that arr will goes to here and n will goes to this size. So I can take this n also